When you write an instructional book, you have to think about a ton of small details. And many of the details are structural and really practical details, things that have to do with the actual reader experience, which were things that I was really focused on in my first book. By the way, it's its first birthday today. And what I mean by structural details are things like which ways can you actually demonstrate something in an easy way, making sure the tone matches the type of writing style that you want to achieve, and other practical things. Like, I know personally that a lot of my readers of this book are going to jump around to different exercises, and they're not going to start by reading all of the techniques and tips and tricks at the beginning of the book. And so for every single exercise, we made sure to put page numbers, and that way it's really easy for the reader to go back and reference some of the additional information that they may need to know to complete the exercise. But there's actually a whole nother level of details that go into the book decision, and it has to do with the general aesthetics. And I am in the process of writing my second book right now, and this one is going to also be very educational and have a very similar writing style and approach to learning as the first one. It also has a much more kind of fun and less serious topic and theme throughout it, and I want the general vibe of the book to match that. And I thought it'd be fun to share one way in which we're trying to kind of achieve this type of a feeling that is a little different than the way we did it in the first book. And it all has to do with color swatches. So in the first book, when I would do my paintings and then send in my instructions and the pictures, I would also send in one of these color swatches so that you could really see the colors I was using individually called out. And then the graphic designers would take a look at these swatches and they would pick one area of it and they would grab a square of it, which we would put at the beginning of each exercise so that you can easily see the colors that are being used and mixed up. And in the first book, stylistically, with how we decided to format everything, it made sense to go with nice clean lines of a square. But because I want the second book to be a lot more fun, one of those ways in which we can kind of match that feeling throughout the book is doing things like uncompleted edges or really natural edge things. And what I'm experimenting with right now are different brush strokes that I make with my brush and kind of the natural edges that come along with the different directions of moving the brush. And that way, as the design comes together, the designers will actually have these little swatches to place onto the different pages, and it will have that much more rustic and natural feel to it. Thank you to everyone for all of your support on the first book. I'm so happy that you're enjoying painting with it. I love seeing what you're creating with it. If you do some of it, please post it and tag me. I love seeing it. And next year, when we're celebrating the second anniversary of this book, we'll be celebrating the release of the second.